If you're waiting for her to confess, you'll miss it. Let that satisfy something in you for a second, because most men are out here looking for neon signs, waiting for her to say the words, waiting for some dramatic moment where she grabs your face and tells you she's falling. That's not how it works. When a woman truly chooses you, she doesn't announce it. She doesn't send a signal flare. She doesn't write you a letter. She adjusts her behavior. Pause. And most men overlook the shift. They overlook it because they were taught that female interest looks loud, obvious, flashy. But real emotional investment from a woman is quiet. It moves like water under a door. You don't hear it. You feel the ground change beneath you. She doesn't show interest loudly. She shows it consistently. And that's the part most men are blind to. Not because they're unintelligent, but because no one ever taught them what a woman's real investment looks like when it's already happening. In this video, I'll show you the subtle signs that she's already emotionally invested, even if she hasn't said it, even if she's calm, even if everything on the surface looks like she's just being friendly. By the end, you'll understand something most men never figure out, that her silence was never rejection, it was selection. Let's start. The first sign you've already won her, but don't realize it is this. She prioritizes you without saying it. She doesn't tell you she moved things around. She doesn't say, I canceled my plans for you. She doesn't announce that she woke up early to text you back. She just does it, and you might not even notice. Because it doesn't come with a spotlight. It comes with consistency. Her replies become more even. Not faster necessarily, but steadier. She doesn't disappear for 2 days and then come back with energy. She stays in rhythm with you. She holds the pace. She shows up. And here's what most men miss. When a woman starts responding to you even when she's genuinely busy, that's not politeness, that's priority. Let me explain the psychology behind this. A woman's time is one of the most emotionally loaded things she can give. Not because she's dramatic about it, but because her time is where her nervous system lives. How she spends her hours reflects what her body feels safe investing in. When she adjusts her schedule, even slightly, to make room for you, something has already shifted inside her. You're no longer optional, you've moved into a different category. One she doesn't talk about, one she protects quietly. She won't frame it as sacrifice. She won't use the word effort. But if you pay attention, you'll notice she's making space for you that didn't exist before. A call she takes during her lunch break. A text she sends between meetings. A plan she agrees to even though her week is full. This is silent investment. And silent investment is the most honest form of emotional attachment a woman can show. Because here's the truth. Women don't invest time where they don't feel something. They just don't. A woman who is unsure of you will keep her calendar loose. She'll leave gaps. She'll hedge. She won't commit to next Saturday because she's still measuring how she feels. But when she locks in, when she shows up repeatedly without being asked, that's not friendship. That's decision. And the reason most men miss it is because they're waiting for the verbal confirmation. They want her to say, I like you. They want the words. But her actions already said it 3 weeks ago. They just weren't listening. Think about it this way. If a woman is texting you back within a reasonable time, every single day, without games, without disappearing, without the push and pull that marks early uncertainty, what does that tell you? It tells you her nervous system has already made a decision about you. Her body feels safe enough to stay close. Her emotional world has already filed you under someone I want to keep talking to. And that doesn't happen randomly. That happens because something about your energy, your steadiness, your presence made her feel like you were worth the consistency. Most men don't realize that a woman who keeps showing up is a woman who has already chosen. Not fully, not permanently, but directionally. She's leaning toward you. And the fact that she's doing it quietly makes it more real, not less. So if she's making time for you and she's not making a big deal out of it, don't overlook that. Don't brush it off as normal. It's not normal. It's intentional. She chose to be there. That's the first sign, and you almost missed it.
The second sign you've already won her is one that most men completely misread. She opens her inner world to you. Not her social world, not her surface opinions, her inner world. The one she keeps gated. The one with memories and fears and thoughts she doesn't post anywhere. The one that lives beneath every smile she gives in public. When a woman starts sharing pieces of her childhood with you, that's not small talk. That's excavation. She's pulling something up from deep inside herself and handing it to you, not because she's bored, because she trusts you enough to hold it. She tells you about her father, about that 1 year in school that changed her, about the thing her mother said that she never forgot. about the version of herself she used to be before she learned how to protect her energy. And she does it calmly, without fanfare, maybe late at night over the phone, maybe during a walk, maybe in a pause between two ordinary moments where something in her body says he's safe enough. That's the key. Safety. Women don't open emotionally unless their nervous system gives permission. You can't logic your way into a woman's vulnerability. You can't ask the right questions and get access. She either feels it or she doesn't. And when she does, the gates open slowly. Not all at once, but unmistakably. She starts expressing fears, not dramatic fears, quiet ones. The fear of being misunderstood, the fear of choosing wrong again, the fear that what she wants might not exist. And she's telling you these things not because she wants you to fix them, but because she wants to be known by you. That's a distinction most men miss entirely. She's not asking for a solution. She's asking for presence. She's asking, can I be this version of myself around you and still feel like you see me? When a woman shares her future ideas with you, listen carefully, not just to the content, but to the fact that she's including you in the vision. She says things like, I've been thinking about moving closer to the coast, or I want to start something of my own one day. And she watches your face when she says it, not because she needs approval, but because she wants to see if you're someone who can exist in that future. If she's showing you what she dreams about, she's already imagining you near it. Women are selective with emotional exposure. Extremely selective. A woman can date a man for months and never let him into the rooms that matter. She'll be pleasant. She'll be fun. She'll be physically present. But emotionally, the walls stay up. Not because she's cold, because she hasn't felt the signal yet. The signal that says this one is safe. So when she starts letting you in, understand the weight of it. That vulnerability is not casual. It's not her being emotional. It's her being brave. And she's being brave because something about you made her believe it was worth the risk. You're already ahead. You just didn't know it. The third sign is one that most men never connect to attraction. She tests you less. In the early stages of connection, a woman watches everything. She's not being manipulative. She's being intelligent. She's scanning for patterns. She's looking at how you respond to pressure, how you handle silence, whether you chase when she pulls back, whether you stay steady when she creates distance. This is not a game. This is survival instinct. She's assessing whether your emotional foundation is solid enough to hold something real, and she does it quietly, through micro moments, through small provocations, through pauses she inserts into conversation to see how you react. She might take longer to reply one day. She might say something slightly challenging to see if you get defensive. She might cancel a plan to see if you spiral or stay grounded. These aren't attacks. They're assessments. And every woman does them whether she's aware of it or not. But here's what changes when she's already won. The tests slow down. The challenges soften. The distance stops being a tool and starts being unnecessary. Because she already has her answer. She saw how you handled tension. She watched what you did when things weren't easy. She observed your energy in the moments most men don't realize they're being observed. And she decided you passed. Tell me honestly, which sign have you already noticed in your situation? When a woman stops testing, she starts trusting. And trust from a woman is not a word, it's a behavioral shift. Her body relaxes around you. Her voice gets softer. Her humor gets looser. She stops performing and starts being. You'll feel it before you understand it. Something in the air changes. The tension that used to live between you two transforms. It doesn't disappear. It evolves. From uncertainty into comfort. From evaluation into enjoyment. That shift is everything. And most men don't recognize it because they got so used to the testing that they don't know what peace from a woman actually feels like. When she becomes steady with you, that's not boredom. That's resolution. Her nervous system made its decision. She's in, and she didn't need to tell you. She just stopped fighting it. The fourth sign you've already won her is something that happens beneath conscious awareness. She mirrors you naturally. This one is subtle. So subtle that most people never catch it happening. But once you understand it, you'll never unsee it. She starts adopting your humor, not copying your jokes, absorbing your rhythm, the way you time a pause before the punchline, the dry delivery, the sarcasm you use when you're being affectionate. She picks it up, not because she's trying, because her system is syncing with yours. She uses similar phrases. Words you say often start appearing in her texts. Expressions you use casually become part of her vocabulary, not in an obvious way, in a way that feels almost invisible unless you're paying attention. Her texting style starts to match yours. If you write in short, direct sentences, she begins doing the same. If you use voice notes, she starts sending them too. If you leave space between replies, she finds a similar rhythm. It's alignment. Behavioral alignment, and it happens when a woman's body has decided it feels safe with your patterns. She copies subtle habits. Maybe you always drink water before a meal, and now she does it too. Maybe you have a way of leaning back when you're thinking, and she starts doing the same thing across from you. These are not coincidences. These are signals of neurological bonding. Mirroring is one of the most well-documented phenomena in human connection. When two people's nervous systems begin to regulate around each other, their behaviors start converging. Posture, speech patterns, breathing rate, emotional cadence. It's the body's way of saying, I recognize this person as part of my world. And here's what makes it powerful. It's not a choice. She's not sitting there thinking, I should laugh like he does. Her body is doing it for her. Because at a level deeper than thought, deeper than strategy, her system has already aligned with yours. This is not accidental. This is biological trust in motion. When a woman mirrors you, it means her body is no longer in defense mode around you. She's not guarding herself. She's not filtering her responses through caution. She's flowing, and that flow creates a kind of intimacy that words can't manufacture. You'll notice it in how she sits near you, leaning in when you lean in, tilting her head when you tilt yours, matching your energy without being asked. It's quiet choreography, two nervous systems dancing without music. Most men look for verbal confirmation. They want her to say, I feel connected to you. But her body already said it. Every time she mirrored your laugh, every time she adopted your phrase, every time her energy matched yours without effort. That's the sign. And if you're seeing it, she's already deeper in than you think. The fifth sign is the most definitive, and it's the one that separates interest from integration. She defends you or chooses you publicly. This doesn't mean she's shouting your name from rooftops. It doesn't mean she's posting you on social media with long captions. It means something quieter, something more real. She mentions you in conversations with people who matter to her. Her friends hear your name, not as a maybe, as a fixture. She says things like, he said something funny the other day, or we were talking about that last week. She weaves you into her narrative, naturally, without force. She brings you into her plans. Not every plan, but the important ones. The ones that tell you she's thinking ahead with you in the frame, a weekend idea, a trip she's been wanting to take, a dinner with someone she respects. She includes you because, in her mind, you're already part of the picture. She references the future with you in it, not in dramatic declarations, in small linguistic choices. She says when instead of if. She talks about next month like your presence is assumed. These are not accidents. These are emotional commitments disguised as casual words. And then there's the loyalty piece, the one that matters most. When a woman defends you in a conversation you're not even part of, that is selection at the deepest level. Someone questions you, someone doubts you, someone makes a comment, and she steps in, not with aggression, with quiet certainty. She corrects the narrative because she's already decided who you are to her. When a woman starts integrating you into her world, you are not temporary. You are not a phase. You are not something she's trying on to see how it fits. You're selected. And selection from a woman who is emotionally intelligent, who guards her world carefully, who doesn't let people in without reason. That is not something to overlook. That is everything. If you're seeing these signs, stop second-guessing. Stop waiting for the dramatic confession. Stop measuring her interest against some imaginary scale you built from movies and advice that never understood women in the first place. She already showed you. You just need to believe it. Now let me reframe something for you, because this might be the most important part of everything I've said. You don't win a woman with grand gestures. You don't win her with expensive dates. You don't win her with perfectly timed compliments or rehearsed vulnerability. You don't win her by being the most exciting man in the room. You win her with emotional steadiness. Let me say that again. You win her with emotional steadiness. Because what a woman's nervous system is searching for, beneath every conversation, beneath every date, beneath every late-night call, is regulation. She's looking for a man whose presence calms something inside her, not someone who spikes her emotions and then disappears. Not someone who floods her with intensity and then pulls away. Someone who stays the same temperature, someone who is predictable in the best way. She doesn't choose excitement long-term. She can't. Excitement without stability becomes anxiety, and anxiety is not attraction. It's survival mode dressed up as chemistry. The butterflies that most people romanticize are often just a nervous system that doesn't feel safe, and a woman who has done the work on herself knows the difference. She chooses safety with tension. That's the combination. A man who makes her feel grounded but still keeps her curious. A man who is emotionally available but not emotionally desperate. A man who is warm but still has edges. That's what she selects for. Not drama, not perfection. Presence with depth. If she's calm around you, pay attention to that. Calmness from a woman is not indifference. It's surrender. It means her body stopped scanning for threats. It means her walls came down not because you knocked them over, but because she felt no reason to keep them up. If she's open around you, recognize that. Openness from a woman is not weakness. It's courage. It means she chose to risk being seen by you. She chose to trust you with parts of herself she could have kept hidden. And she did it without guarantee, without contract, without knowing whether you'd handle it well. If she's consistent around you, honor that. Consistency from a woman is not obligation. It's devotion in its earliest form. She's showing up. Again and again. Not because she has to, because she wants to, because something in you made her feel like showing up was worth it. You've already won more than you think. The problem is not that she hasn't shown you. The problem is that you were looking for the wrong proof. And this is where I need to speak to something deeper. Men who constantly seek proof lose confidence. They do. Because proof-seeking is a form of anxiety. It says, I don't trust what I'm experiencing. I don't trust my own perception. I need her to validate what I already feel. And that energy, that reaching, that constant measuring, it erodes attraction over time. Not because she judges you for it, but because it shifts the dynamic. She goes from being chosen to being the one who has to convince you that she chose. And that's exhausting. For both of you. Men who observe patterns gain power. Not power over her. Power within themselves. The power of clarity. The power of knowing where you stand without asking. The power of trusting the evidence your own eyes are showing you. If she's investing quietly, you don't need a confession. You need awareness. Awareness that her consistency is not coincidence. Awareness that her vulnerability is not casual. Awareness that her softness around you is not something she gives to everyone. Awareness that the mirroring, the prioritizing, the future talk, the quiet loyalty, all of it is a woman telling you in every language except words that she already chose. You just have to be still enough to hear it. Have you ever realized too late that she was already invested? Think about that. Think about the moments you missed because you were too busy looking for the loud version of what she was already giving you quietly. Think about the woman who showed up every single day and you didn't see it because she never made a speech about it. Don't make that mistake again. Not now, not with the next one. When a woman gives you these signs, the right response is not to question them. The right response is to match them. Meet her consistency with your own. Meet her openness with your presence. Meet her trust with reliability. That's how a connection deepens. Not through words, through matched energy. And if you're sitting here realizing that someone in your life has already been showing you these signs, then you know what to do. Stop looking for more evidence. Start being the man who deserves what she's already giving. When things finally start making sense, when patterns become clear, come back to Lies Unmasked and tell me thank you. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.